Hi, this video is entitled Visionary Brilliance and Evolutionary Genius. Yesterday and all of this week, I've been on a variety of calls about the future. I listen to podcasts about the CEOs who are making AI, and some of them say it's fine, some say it's doomsday, some say all kinds of different perspectives about that. And then I listened to a whole futurist thing yesterday, and what I see is all of these conversations and creations and innovations are happening inside an existing system or an existing paradigm, if you want to call it that. But it's in the old. That's how I would talk about it. It's in the old version of reality where profit comes first and success is the goal and money is important. And, I'm not saying those things don't count, but really, there's just a whole different way about this when you look at visionary brilliance and evolutionary genius. So I would like to train and coach people in how to access visionary brilliance and evolutionary genius. So I was just sitting down just before this call and taking a look at, well, what would I say are the key things that make that up for me? Because I'm definitely both. I've been training people all over the world for the last 20 years on being visionaries, being transformative, being transcendent, creating, sourcing breakthroughs, inventing new realities, etc. So, what would I say are the key components of visionary brilliance and evolutionary genius? So, the first thing is that you have to learn to recognize the old, which I'm sure you probably do. I think so many of us do at this moment, but not just recognize it, but learn how to position your awareness, your orientation, your creation, your innovation, your brilliance about it outside of the construct of itself as a system. So, in other words, think and create outside of what is known. And that's a fascinating thing to be able to do. I love doing that. So, attached to that is learn how to see beyond what is and to feel into and call forth what is waiting to happen, what wants to happen. That's a different orientation from what is or what's always been or how it is or to what is waiting to happen and what wants to happen next. Because there is, wherever it comes from, I might call it universal intelligence or the source of creation or, whatever. There's a field of potent potential and possibilities waiting for us. And when you learn to tap that field, then you learn to create as a visionary, as an evolutionary creator. And it often the ideas sort of marry with you, but they also come from some place that is pure, absolute genius and brilliance, which I absolutely love. It is so wonderful to have a relationship with that. So that's the other thing I want to talk about. So make a relationship with where genius comes from, where potential and possibilities come from. Is it for you the universe, source, creator, nature, the earth, oceans, whales? There's all different places that could come from. So make a relationship with it. It's all about being relational, creational, and transformational, as well as transcendent to a good degree. And that's what creates a kind of visionary brilliance and evolutionary genius. The next piece would be learn how to source breakthroughs and innovate newness. So it's one thing to see it and call it and to look beyond, to be able to, bring these things into being. But it's also a key to being able to source these things. Now, I can do them both myself and or with others. So I call it collaborative genius fusion or kaleidoscopic creation. It's a completely different thing from what normally occurs in a group and how they function, because each one brings their own mastery, brings their own uniqueness, and every piece is a part of the creation. And so you learn how to innovate and source breakthroughs and bring newness into the world, and how to take that from a concept into a living template of reality and then share that with the world. So that's the next piece. And I would say, finally, the last piece for me when I was tuning into all this is say yes to greatness. Not just your own greatness, but the world's greatness, humanity's greatness, life's greatness, the universe's greatness. I think when you have a relationship like that, when you've said yes, you get all manner of assistance come to you. It's really quite extraordinary. So that's just a quick overview of the things that I think make up visionary brilliance and evolutionary genius. I would like to host both either a webinar series or a one-on-one coaching series with people, coaching training series with people. If that interests you, would you drop a comment in below or message me privately and let me know? Because yes, this is what we need in the world right now. We need to redesign the future, redesign global civilization and how it works. Finally to come in and bring forth all those dreams we have of how we can be and elevate and evolve ourselves as a world. And I think that's really exciting. So if that calls to you, let me know. Okay, thanks. Have a beautiful February.